Hello dudes and dudettes, Umar Abu Ammar here. Welcome to a Cursory Glance. In this new segment, I'll be sharing my opinions and tastes on a range of topics and materials I find interesting. Since it is quarantine season and you probably are idly bored at home, I've decided to briefly introduce you to my top 5 favorite novels and why I think you should also read them. At number 1 is the best-selling thriller by Robert Ludlum, The Murderous Circle. Without giving away the juicy fruits of suspense, the main character of the book, Brandon Allen Scofield, is an American spy who had to work with a Russian spy, Vasily Vasilyevich Talenikov, to uncover the clandestine operations of a mysterious organization named Murderous. It was not going to be easy because the two happened to be arch-enemies. The two agents soon discovered that the organization was more dangerous than they could ever imagine. The book is full of suspense, which means you should brace yourselves for unprecedented revelations. They are the reasons we all love Robert Ludlum's books, spy twists and suspense. At number 4 is Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer. What first caught my interest in this book were the writing style of the author and the smooth pace of the story. It is gripping and you don't want to put it down until you are done. Cain and Abel narrates the story of financial rivalry between two ambitious individuals that came from two different backgrounds, one rich and the other poor. The story begins around the start of World War I and spans to World War II. Now, before deciding the book is huge for too many pages, the interesting thing about the author's writing style, which is why I love it, is that he made the story go fast and without cutting out relevant details necessary to build up the characters. It is just a normal 300 to 400 pages book. At number 3 is the international best-selling book, now a motion picture, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. This amazing plot twister has been rocking the world for over a decade now. The Da Vinci Code is Dan Brown's debut book that first featured Professor Robert Langdon. Since then, Dan Brown has graced us with 4 more Robert Langdon stories over the years: Angels and Demons, The Lost Symbol, Inferno, and The Origin. The amazing thing about it is that you don't have to read these books in sequence. They have one main character with the same personality but totally different plots that have no connection, yet you feel the Brown in all of them. As noted, my favorite is The Da Vinci Code. I still have not watched the movie and might never do so because reading the book was more than enough. In this book, Robert Langdon was in France for a few days trip when he was suddenly caught up as a suspect in the case of the death of one of the most well-known artists in the world. The whole thing was fishy and the timing too good to be a coincidence. Langdon, with the help of Sophia Noble, as they ran from the French authorities, pursued the clue left by the dead artist to find out the truth about the Holy Grail that was kept hidden by the Fairy of Zion. They soon realized they were not the only ones after it. As it has become Dan Brown's MO, always expect the unexpected. Also, Dan Brown's books are usually factual about the organizations, buildings, and history he mentions, so it's actually very interesting and amazing reading his books. At number 4 is the 1967 classical fantasy, Dune by Frank Herbert. My decision not to place it in the first position was almost forced at me by my conscience because I had no choice but to acknowledge the superiority of the first. In any event, Dune is set at the planet Arrakis that is also called Dune, hence the name of the book. The timeline of the story was set at a far-flung future when humans no longer trust machines to help with decisions and activities. Although there were computer beings in the story that resemble humans, known as the Mentats, Dune shows Paul Atreides unlocking his inner potential that edges him over normal human beings. Frank Herbert spent 5 years putting together the environmental reality of Arrakis. The planet is a desert, hence the name Dune, that has very low water supply. The native beings on the planet, the blue-eyed Fremens, have long resisted the leaders sent to it because of their suppression. The planet has a unique resource of the spice, also called the melange, that is needed for high level of calculations and accurate decisions. It is sort of the cause of the planetary wars, just like oil pits the Western powers against each other today. It was in the midst of all this that the family Atreides were sent to the planet. While Atreides was seen as the savior or the Mahdi by the Fremen, he had to go through dangerous means and situations to prove himself worthy and led the planet to salvation. We could spend hours if I were to give brief details of everything. It is simply there at the top, not to even mention the classical writing pattern of the author, the preambles, and the detailed structuring. Just go and buy the book and read it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Number 1 is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Like Dune, Lord of the Rings is a master literal work. Unlike Dune, it was not up in the future but in the past. In addition, the area it happened is called Middle-earth, where men, elves, and dwarves live. The evil Lord Sauron lost a ring that was procured by the Shire Hobbit Bilbo Baggins. Now, the evil Lord wants his ring back but does not know where it is. The Fellowship of the Ring sets out a group of 4 hobbits, 2 men, 1 elf, a dwarf, and a wizard. Tolkien's writing style is also unique. It's very unique and harder, and even harder. I find even harder than Frank Herbert's, but it is not out of anyone's league. The complexion he adds to the development of the story and the terribleness of horror, darkness, and evil is salient. Above all, he developed languages with different dialects, like the Elvish languages of the Woodland Ring is a bit different from the one spoken in the Valley of Imladris, the House of Elrond. I would have gladly given you everything, but I think this should be enough for now. Just walk down to a bookstore and purchase the book. You won't regret it. There are lots of classic and amazing novels out there, of which I have only read quite a few, and I mean very few. Kindly let us know what your favorite novels are in the comment section. Let's have a discussion on it. Let's discuss it and have a conversation. And if you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.